Live from Holloway Gymnasium on campus at Purdue University, it's Big Ten Volleyball on the Big Ten Digital Network. Tonight, the Boilermakers welcome Ohio State to Beeland Court. Glad you could join us, everyone. I'm Corey Palm alongside Josh Hill for this pivotal early season matchup. Last weekend, the Boilermakers opened Big Ten play on the road, dropping matches at Wisconsin and Minnesota. The Buckeyes, meanwhile, defeated Michigan before dropping a three-setter to Michigan State in St. John's Arena. Josh, who are the key pieces for each team, starting with the Buckeyes?
It definitely starts with Caitlin O'Leary, senior outside, 6'1", leading the team 5+ kills per set, scorching numbers for a 25-point rally score set. Also, the senior setter, really good, 12+ assists a set. Those numbers are really correlative when it comes to, you have a great attacker, you're going to get more set assists. So we'll see how they do tonight, but those are two really key players for the Buckeyes.
For the Boilermakers, it's been more of a balanced attack, no real numbers that stand out. It really interesting from a statistical approach.
Yeah, usually, the Boilers have one that sticks out to you. Nobody really on offense. 7 different players, more than 66 kills on the season. Val Nichols, one of those. Sets in the back row, swings in the front row. Really key for the Boilermakers this year's been their defensive play. Ball control is a big issue. Prediction is whoever can control the ball off serve the most in system tonight is probably going to win the match. So we'll see what happens.
For Ohio State, the starters tonight, Andrea Casitas, the middle blocker. Julianne Mandolfo is a defensive specialist. Taylor Sherwin, the junior setter you mentioned a bit ago, one of the best in the country. Taylor Sandbooth up front. Caitlin O'Leary outside, and Katie Mitchell as well. The libero for the Buckeyes is Daviona Di Salvatore. For the Boilermakers, meanwhile, out on the front row, it's Rabarczyk, Annie Drews, and Faye Adelaja. On the front row, it's Val Nickel, joined by Amanda Neal and Kiki Jones to start the match. Carly Kramer will be the libero for the Boilermakers once we get going here. So exciting night, second weekend of Big Ten play. The first time the Boilermakers have been home in the Big Ten season here in 2013, and Purdue brings their 9-4 record into the match. Ohio State 13-1 on the year, but as it were on a one-game losing streak, dropping that three-setter against Michigan State last Saturday night.
Yeah, you talk to any coach in the country and they'd ask you if you want a 13-1 record going into the second weekend of Big Ten, they'd say yes, please.
No doubt.
Doesn't matter who you play, doesn't matter if there's any marshmallows in there. We'll take wins when we get them. So we'll see. Here we go.
Amanda Neal gets things going for the Boilermakers.
3 back to pass there for the Buckeyes. Here we go. Pass on target. We see right away Leary making her presence known. 5 kills per set, gets the first one on the first swing, so 1-for-1 O'Leary.
Found a great hole in front of the defensive 3 for the Boilermakers. Casitas to serve.
Great pass from the Boilermakers. Quick set in the middle. Adelaja making her presence known early. Got 1 kill, 1 down for Purdue, tied 1-1.
We've seen with this Purdue team all season long, they're a different squad, much higher caliber when they receive well.
Yeah, in system really opens it up for the middles, which makes the outside hitter's job a lot easier. So ball control, key issue tonight. Here we go, quick set in the middle from Ohio State off the 1-foot first tempo attack. O'Leary going deep cross court. High outside to Rabarczyk. Ohio State's able to control it. Good dig there by Val Nickel. Andy Drews off the block. Ohio State controlling there. Double call. Pretty good call. Not the setter trying to handle that ball. So a lot of times when a ball's dug like that, a lot of spin. Somebody who doesn't handle the ball with their hands a lot, that's going to be a tough one.
Absolutely. The Boilers on top 2-1 early.
Short serve there from Kramer. First tempo again for Ohio State, but dug up. Drew's trying to go cross court again. Leary off hands out of bounds. Looked like the set was just a little bit outside. Good body adjustment by Leary in the air there, trying to go off Drew's right hand out of bounds. 2 kills for her.
Not a lot of room between Drews and the antenna there, so yeah, great control by Leary.
A lot of times as a pin blocker, you really want to seal that pin, make sure there's no hole there in between the antenna and the blocker. Going outside again, Rabarczyk, big swing outside. Behind the setter, good dig again by Nickel. Good placement at a system for Ohio State. Roll shot there, dug up by Purdue. Drews again, not quite getting over the net, so Annie Drews 4 or 5 swings early, not a kill yet. I think she's hit the same shot all 4 times, so we'll see if she's got something else in her bag.
Serving is Valeria Leon.
So pass off the mark just a little bit. Great set by Nickel there to find Kiki Jones in the middle. You know, that's going to be a key to this match, is if we can stay in system enough on the Boilermaker side. Kiki Jones is going to be a real factor in the match. So we'll see what happens if the Boilermakers are able to keep the good ball control up. Here you see another behind the setter run by the middle. These Ohio State middles are really good off of 1 foot, both in front of the setter and behind the setter. So they're going to be a factor if Ohio State can keep that ball under control. Here we see both teams trying to go in the middle really quick. So Kiki Jones getting her second attempt there right off the bat. Ohio State's able to get her this time.
Remaining on serve is Caitlin Leary.
We got a good pass from Purdue. Tip job there from Rabarchik. Ohio State gets it up barely. These are the plays that you really try to score points off. Nickel knows exactly what to do. Off hands out of bounds. Point Purdue.
Rabarchik will back to serve for the Boilermakers as Neal comes out. Epinesa enters for the first time tonight.
Yep. 3 back for Ohio State. Leary in the back row now. Rip serve by Purdue. Dug up out of system play for Ohio State here. Hard cross court, but dug over the net. Kramer, that's a really tough ball to keep on your side, and those are kind of the transition plays that the great teams are able to control and score points off of, so those are probably going to be key plays when we come down the stretch late in each set, or who wins those type of points.
DeSalvatore to serve.
Another quick set there in the middle. Val Nickel trying to get back outside the block. Dug up by Purdue. Rachel Davis running all the way across the court. So here we have a ball hit into the antenna from Ohio State. So side out Purdue. 5-6, Ohio State up 1.
Kiki Jones back to serve for the Boilermakers.
So Leary back to serve, or back to pass for Ohio State. Here we go, blocked back into the court by Purdue. Now, Ohio State doesn't have their best lineup in the front row right now. Leary's in the back row. Let's see if they try to go to her. Setter is up for Ohio State, so only 2 attackers in the front row.
That's a huge block from Casitas.
Yeah, big swing from Ohio State there, coming behind the setter. One key difference for Purdue on the floor, no libero that time. Middle was serving, so Purdue a little bit short-handed defensively. Ordinarily have a libero on the floor, dig that ball up. Swing down the line there from Nickel, great swing. See if the set gets all the way out to the antenna. Big hole there between the pin blocker and the pin. So Val Nickel had a big hole to swing through there.
Second kill on the set for Nickel, 7-7.
Great hard-court cross shot there. Katie Mitchell for Ohio State bringing the heat. Carly Kramer unable to hand it for Purdue. So 3 back to pass for Purdue here. Decent pass from Purdue. Sam Epinesa trying to go hard cross court. Ball is out of system for Purdue here on the dig. Long rally, another shot coming. Drews finds the hole. That's her sweet spot in between those 2 blockers. That time ball going back and forth. Ohio State unable. So as you can see there in the replay, So didn't quite get to the replay there. Annie Drew's able to find the seam in between the two blockers for a kill. Back to serve here, Amanda Neal for the Boilermakers. Going short, unable to get the ball in. So side out to Ohio State, up 1. 2.5 back to pass for the Boilermakers. Kat Rabarczyk sort of in the serve receive pattern, getting the short ball there. So another cross-court swing from Babarczyk deep into the 5 zone. Really hard ball to defend. Libero out for Ohio State, so I had a middle trying to defend that deep court there. Ordinarily a Libero might get a hand on that ball, but back to serve is a Libero for Purdue. 2.5 back to pass for Ohio State. Leary on the outside, overpass from Ohio State. Kiki Jones, now that ball, the difference there, if that ball's at all in the plane of the net, any part of the ball, Kiki is free to get that ball. So Jones able to take advantage of the overpass from Ohio State.
Clearly it was, but just barely. Great play by Jones.
A tough serve there from Purdue. Going backside again, number 17, Katie Mitchell. Second kill she's got in this rotation across the front. So being very effective for Ohio State, Katie Mitchell. Off the hands, out of bounds. We call that an undiggable kill. That ball's really tough to get to off hands.
No doubt about that. Leon back to serve.
So Drews again. Set looked like it was a little bit past the antenna. Drews able to make a pretty good adjustment in the air. Going really hard slice there, cross court. Ohio State digs it into the stands, so back to serve for Purdue. Got 11-10, Purdue up 1.
Looked on that play like Nickel almost did Drews a favor by giving her one shot and one shot only to kill.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the intent, but worked out in Boilermakers' favor. So we got 3 attackers up for Purdue right now, 3 blockers. Setter is up for Ohio State, so 2 attackers on their side in the front row. So Leary comes from the middle of the floor around to hit the seam. That play, if the middle is running in front of the setter, should be a fairly easy play for the Purdue blockers, mainly because you have one of the attackers for Ohio State averaging 5 kills per set on the outside. Purdue blocker should be all over that. So
Leary to serve, and beautiful put down there by Jones.
Here we see Jones again, first tempo in the middle. I think that's going to be true for both teams if we can see the replay. Middle from Ohio State never even saw the attack pattern of Kiki Jones, so that's going to be an easy kill every time for Jones if that ball's passed in system.
Imagine we'll see that one a time or two more tonight. Good 2-person block for the Boilers.
So here we see the 0-2 hitting it into the block. Now we see backside again, number 10. We see Taylor Sabothe coming through for Ohio State. She's a pretty good attacker. You know, the difference being the setter is up right now for Ohio State, so only 2 attackers. 3 blockers to that on Purdue, so kind of a mismatch for the Boilermakers if they can identify who the attackers are and what their attack patterns are.
That set a bit high for Kiki Jones. Couldn't quite get the angle on it to get it down in bounds.
Difference is a different middle rotated in now. Number 4, Andrea Katzis for Ohio State did a little better job on Kiki Jones that time. Maybe forced her to hit out of bounds. Great swing there from Sam Panessa. Outside attacker, a little bit out of system for Purdue, finds the seam.
Great dig by Hillary Fox to get this thing started.
You can see out of there, Ohio State knew where it was going, just didn't quite close the block.
Jones to serve once again.
So Leary, big swing back row. First time we've seen that from her. Good swing there, cross court from Epinesa. Good swing for Ohio State there. So side out Ohio State. All knotted up at 14. 2 back to pass for the Boilermakers. Pass is on target, and Epinesa just smokes it.
There again, you see the effective middle affecting that play as the feint to Adelaja drew the block away from Epinesa.
Yeah, absolutely. Adelaja's good enough to where she's going to command attention, especially with a ball that's passed in system. All eyes are going to be on her, really frees it up. So Setter got the assist, but Elijah kind of gets him an assist on that one too. So unable to connect there for Ohio State. So Purdue is up 16-14 here, about halfway through, a little over halfway through this first set. I think one of the keys to this match is who's going to get the first set. So whoever can come out on top, probably a pretty big advantage. Good swing there, number 17, coming through Katie Mitchell again for Ohio State. Looked like Drew's a little bit confused on where that ball was going. A lot of times as a blocker, if you're watching the ball, that attacker's going to fly right by you. Ball's going to be on the floor before you really know what's going on.
Short serve.
Good play call there from Val Nickel, bringing Drews on something a little bit different. Andy Drews on the pin is probably not as good as her on a second tempo ball in the middle. Swing on a 2-ball or second tempo ball in the middle, court kind of opens up a little bit for you. Gives the blockers a little bit something different to look at. Maybe something that they might go to even more as the match progresses.
Amanda Neal now back to serve for the Boilermakers, up 2. Neal with the dig.
Good dig there by Amanda Neal. Neal in the back row as middle back has seam responsibilities on Leary. Great dig there, seeing her coming down. Kat Rabarczyk basically for Purdue had the same exact swing, just contacted a little bit high. Ball sailed long on her.
Cassis to serve. And now she will be subbed out, and it will be Maggie Heim coming in.
So Maggie Heim, probably defensive specialist for Ohio State, maybe serving specialist, trying to get a little different look on defense.
Cross court to Neal. Great effort keeping that one in play by Ohio State, the Boilermakers.
Yep, Kat Rabarczyk. Effort there on the high outside ball. Purdue, I think, would like to see a little bit better of an attack from her. There we go. Right there in the middle. You don't really need the center when you dig them like that. So
this is a great redirect by Adelaja, and almost just a reflexive move by the redshirt freshman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That ball dug right at her, and she just redirects it.
You know, sometimes in a long rally like that, you just find yourself in the right spot at the right time. Better be lucky than good, you know, and Adelaja gets the kill.
Great block once again by the Boilermakers.
Good block set up there by Drew 2 times in a row. Now they go backside. Another block for Purdue. So really Kiki Jones doing a lot of work in the front row for Purdue, going pin to pin. You've got a middle that has that ability to go from left to right all the way across 30 feet. You really got something going. So Kiki Jones earning her money tonight.
19-16, Purdue leads here in the first set against the Ohio State Buckeyes. First timeout we've seen from either team was taken there by OSU. Just trying to maybe stop the Boilermaker rally here.
Oh, absolutely. Carlson just trying to figure out, you know, up 3 points this late in the set. It's been back and forth the whole time. So like I said, it, you know, could be first set, you know, win is a huge for either team. So, you know, I know that's stating the obvious, but, you know, he doesn't want to get this one away from him.
Kramer serve for the Boilermakers. Great dig by Carly Kramer.
No, Kat Rabarczyk trying to go down the line. You know, no touch call there. I know the student section, although small tonight, really would like to see a touch on that, but no surprise coming out of the timeout there. Ohio State going right to Leary, who's their money girl, trying to get that kill.
Leon to serve. Short serve right in front of Amanda Neal. Ace for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, great serve there from Ohio State. From the vantage point we have, as soon as that ball crossed the net, I mean, that thing took a nosedive. So 2-point run here from Ohio State. Coach Shondell try and do the same thing Coach Carlson did last time out. Make him think a little bit, trying to get something, in his side, get some good strategy going. So
19-18 Purdue, lead by 1. We got another timeout here at the Boiler Box. Leon serve.
There we go. Second time we've seen that, and probably the last 5 points from Purdue is that second tempo ball in the middle. Seen it from 3 different players now. We've seen it from Val Nickel, we've seen it from Annie Drews, and then Kat Rabarczyk. All have hit that second tempo ball in the middle, and it's been pretty effective for the Boilermakers. So we'll see if they keep going to that. Ohio State going outside to Leary again. No surprise there. So Ohio State really has an opportunity here, execute on this free ball. No shot there for the setter from Purdue trying to dig that ball backside. I think that's the first time we've seen Leary go down the line. Most everything's been cross court for her, but inside ball there on the what we call the 32. Leary does a great job putting that ball away.
Dive serve once again. Trouble for Purdue. They do get it over. A late tip call is given to the Buckeyes, and that's going to get this home crowd upset. That ball well long, and all the officials looked around at each other before making a decision.
Yeah, I think the Purdue bench was really happy about that until they realized that the right call was made, and there was definitely a touch on that ball going out of bounds. So another good play out of system for Purdue. Val Nickel going off 1 foot. This one's getting down to crunch time. End time to get past 20, and it's this tight within 1 or 2. Now it's who can execute the last 5 points. Purdue up 1. Really here it's a sprint to 25.
Rabarczyk with an absolute hammer and an ace.
Interesting their strategy for Ohio State going with 2 passers. In the back. Leary, who is an outside hitter, out of the pass or serve receive pattern, ball couldn't have been hit more down the middle from Rabarczyk. So great serve from Purdue, up 2, going into the timeout.
Now Catherine Rabarczyk, she swings a big serve, a very powerful serve. She's more prone to service errors because of that. Hard to believe that's her first ace of the season.
Yeah, high risk, high reward from somebody like her who, it's kind of like live by the sword, die by the sword, and Kat Rabarczyk can rattle off 3 or 4 in a row. If she gets on a run, if that run gets at the right time, that's really good for the Boilermakers. Really bad for the opponent in this case. We call that outside the hubby wife. It's the I got it, you get it. Right. I don't want any part of that. So Ohio State may come out and do a different serve receive pattern to give her a different look. A lot of times on a serving run as a coach, you might want to call a timeout, just try to ice the server.
Yeah, it's good to have one in your pocket there when you see, like you said, a server who can get on runs and reel off 2 or 3. At this point in the match, you can't allow that. You might as well use that timeout.
Yeah, Ohio State did change up the serve receive pattern there, so Leary is stepping in to pass that, what we call the 1 zone. Have their libero in the 5 zone, good passer there in the 6 zone.
Chance for Purdue here.
Good touch off the block there by Purdue. Ohio State's middle tracking with Val Nickel. So back set block is exactly what Ohio State needed in that sequence to get back in it, get the ball back. Still down by 1, Purdue 22-21.
That was a great block there by Taylor Senbatha, the freshman from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Good receive from Fox. Once again, sort of a hesitant call by the line judge there, and I think he got it right.
Yeah, ball was in. We were close enough to the line to be able to see that ball in by about 6 inches on the back row. He made the right call. Some on the Purdue bench finally realized after that
right.
happened that that ball definitely was in.
So 22 apiece here late in the first set. We're going to come back with the conclusion of the first set, maybe another timeout on the floor. We'll be right back. 22 apiece here in the first set, the all-important first set. Josh, you've always said this is where you really earn that scholarship money here, crunch time.
That's right. Three points to go, knotted up at 22. Purdue kind of with the advantage in the fact that they're serve receiving, if you're serve receiving well. If not, then it's not an advantage. Ohio State comes, gives the point right to them. Definitely not what you want coming out of a timeout. But again, Ohio State may have the advantage here. They're going with 3 passers. You know, Leary hasn't been in the passing rotation all set long consistently, so see if we go at her. Went right at Leary. You know, and, you know, again, Ohio State gets a big fill from Seckinger. Really good offhands, out of bounds, undiggable kill, exactly what you want in that situation. So doesn't get any closer than this.
Back and forth we go, side out, 23 all. A little off-speed action there for the Boilermaker middle.
Yeah, Fayette Elijah, great run there, one-on-one. Attacker almost always has the advantage one-on-one in that situation.
Val Nickel to serve, set point for Purdue. Tough serve. Good dig by Kramer. Epinesa gets it over.
So Ohio State swinging out. Purdue gets the first one. Boilermakers up 1-0. Going to set number 2.
Set number 2. Boilermakers up 25-23 after 1. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with a sideline report from Madeline Plesek in just a minute. We take a look at the stats here. Josh, one thing you circled right away, that number of kills for Purdue middle, Annie Drews.
Yeah, one thing early on in the year for Purdue is who's going to produce from the right side. And Drews has been up and down for the Boilermakers this year. And a lot of times it's, can you get kills from pin to pin? Can everybody get involved for your team when they have the opportunity? Same thing for Ohio State. You know, we see Caitlin Leary with 4 kills as well, you know, which we expected from her. So she's hitting 200. You know, Taylor Sambathe, also a good set, 4 kills for her. You know, 209, 286 for the Boilers, hitting that. Pretty, you know, I mean, it was 23-25. So,
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty evenly matched.
You look straight down the line, both with 6 attack errors. Purdue with 2 more kills, and that was the difference in the 2-point set. Getting things ready for set number 2 for the Boilermakers up front. It is at Elijah, Annie Drews, Val Nickel. In the back row, it'll be Catherine Rabarchek along with Amanda Neal and Carly Kramer. Meanwhile, for the Buckeyes, Cassitz along with Seckinger up front. And, of course, it'll be Caitlin Leary with her up front as well. Taylor Soundbothe has a seat to start things out. That's the one change in the lineup here for the Buckeyes. It's also Mitchell and Mandolfo to get things going in the second set. Mandolfo with the serve.
Pass a little bit off the mark. Rabarchik gets it started for the Boilermakers. Hard cross-court kill there. Good swing from Rabarchik.
3rd kill of the night for Catherine Rabarchik.
So two serve receive pattern for Ohio State. Standing pretty deep in the floor. So backside, Rabarchik for Purdue there did a pretty good job of eyeing up the attacker that's in front of her. A lot of times if it's 3 attackers to 3 blockers, what you tell your blockers is you might be in a kind of a man-on-man situation. Key is to watch your attacker and find out what direction her body's going and kind of take the charge for a basketball analogy.
Kramer, nice serve down the line. Leary blocked by Drury and Jones. Mostly Drury from my vantage point.
Annie Drews going high above the net to get that one. Sophomore right side for Purdue, playing well in the match.
Kramer remains on serve.
So backside for the Buckeyes, not exactly what they wanted out of that play there, kind of an out-of-system play. Purdue able to take advantage, score the point on a roll shot from Ohio State. We talked about the importance of ball control. early in this set, Ohio State just a little bit of trouble getting the ball in system where they want it.
Second kill of the set, fourth of the match for Rybarczyk.
So quick tempo in the middle for the Buckeyes, swing long. Quick timeout for the Buckeyes, Purdue up 5-0.
Well, coming in set one, we had the biggest difference between either team was a 3-point advantage once. 5-point lead for the Boilermakers here early in the second. We'll take a break. It did not take head coach Jeff Carlston long to see something he didn't like there. His Buckeyes in an early 5-0 hole here in set two.
You know, rally score lends itself to running points in a hurry. Couple blocks, swing out of bounds, all of a sudden you're down 5 early in a set.
And it can come back just as quickly as we've seen over and over again, and sometimes it starts just like that. Great little almost miss hit there from Andrea Kasitz.
Yeah, one-on-one in the middle. Purdue, probably the weakness in their defense is the middle of the floor, 10-foot line. Ohio State takes advantage of that. So high backside to Drews, taking a rip, cross court. Ohio State out of system, goes backside. No one really there to dig for Purdue. Looked like Val Nickel was kind of in the area, passed, thought someone might be behind her, but the ball did find the floor, so side out Ohio State.
Quick set to Kiki Jones, didn't quite get high enough.
So here we go, side out, 2 swings. Now it's 5-3, 2-point game. Doesn't take long to get back in the match.
Good serve from Kasitz. There's the quick set, worked to perfection. Now we'll get up a little bit more.
Yep, here we go, ball control again. Kiki Jones knows exactly what to do with the ball when she gets it in system. 2 blockers up for Ohio State, so 2 blockers there for Ohio State, but Purdue able to take advantage.
High, deep serve from Davis.
So a quick set in the middle, second middle for Ohio State that has hit the ball out of bounds long. Sometimes the difference there is just snapping when the ball's high, trying to get that ball to dive into the back third of the floor. Leary, big swing outside for Ohio State. And what the call there was a back row block on Purdue. Rachel Davis's back row, so technically she cannot reach above the net, or more precisely, cannot really leave the ground. Leary knows that as a senior, so the best thing to do when you're coaching it is just take a swing. Ball's tight, take a swing. Ohio State gets the point, but gives it right back on the serve out of bounds.
I'll say this about the Purdue back row. We've seen them read just about every ball correctly on the long serves and the long kill attempts tonight. Haven't guessed wrong much.
Rybarczyk with that hammer serve. Really knows what to do. That's the second stuff block we've seen from Purdue. Really getting in front, doing what we talked about, taking the charge for the basketball analogy. Jones getting straight in front of the attacker from Ohio State. Ball goes straight down, so reaching over, penetration on their side, gets the ball to the floor.
Purdue weathers the storm a bit, now back up 5 once more.
Leary looked like she mistimed the jump on that a little bit, caused her to off-speed it. Out of system here for Ohio State. Leary getting another shot. Better swing that time. Quick set in the middle. Nickel trying to get the ball just over the Ohio State block, but dug up again by Purdue. Rybarczyk taking a swing back roll. Not her forte. Rybarczyk in there to serve. Kind of a outlet set for Purdue. Rybarczyk probably should have done a little better job trying to keep that ball in and rally it out. A lot of times in a rally, you don't really get what you want, so you keep the ball going to try to get it back again, put a little pressure on the defense, but Ohio State gets the side out. Leary back to serve.
Leary, the senior from Parma, Ohio.
Out of system for Purdue, Epinesa. Swinging out of system. No, Kiki Jones, you can't teach long arms.
No joke.
That was a really good long arm play from Jones there.
It was kind of a mediocre set and a mistimed jump. She's still able to get it down.
It's one thing you can't teach is tall and long. So in system for Ohio State. Great swing from Ohio State, even better dig from Purdue. And then Purdue gets the ball back, and Nickel one-on-one on the backside. Knows how to put that one away, so.
That was Purdue defensive specialist Hillary Fox with a dig that made that possible.
Yeah, and one-on-one, number 10, middle for Ohio State. Sambathe unable to keep up with that action going all the way across the net, so basically had to play defense about the 10-foot line, one-on-one for Nickel.
Jones serve. Another missed time jump there from the Buckeyes. Sambathe able to put it down.
So Carlson now has subbed out Maggie Heim, setting for Ohio State. Must not have liked what he saw from the setter for Ohio State. It's changing up setters. Another that inside set we've seen again. Boilermakers really trying to switch it up. Sometimes the high ball to the pin, easily defended. So Purdue switching it up, going to the middle, going to a different set inside, becoming very effective for them.
Sam Epinesa with the kill. That one goes long off of the swing of Leary.
Yeah, Leary swinging deep. Looked like there was a little missed time there. Maybe the set was a little behind the 10-foot line. Snapping the ball in deep for Ohio State. And then Epinesa snapping it hard cross court inside the block. Carlson beside himself on the sideline for Ohio State. Really frustrated right now with the way the Buckeyes are playing.
Fourth kill of the night, third of the set for Epinesa. Purdue leads 14-6. You can always hear from BTN personalities, get programming information and so much more. Follow BTN on Twitter and Facebook today. Follow us on Twitter at Big Ten Network. And like us on Facebook at facebook.com/BTN. Quickly back to the action, and Ohio State quickly side outs. Try and get back into this match, down 7.
Yeah, their kills leader, Leary, gets that one in the middle. I'm not sure that's what they set up out of the timeout was the pipe set, but it works, and that's what they got. So Ohio State able to get the ball back in. Ball rolls across the floor, and we get a
foot fault called there on Maggie Heim on the jump serve. Every single fan behind our announce position was helping the line judge out with that. Point Purdue.
You know, you really don't see that at this level. Kind of a lapse of concentration there a little bit by the Buckeyes, and maybe that's what Coach Carlson's really frustrated about, is they're just kind of not in it right now.
You were talking, Heim was pulled on serve a little bit ago, or excuse me, on set a little bit ago.
Yep. So again, the kill there for the Buckeyes, number 17, Katie Mitchell, who's kind of been a steadying force for them. Really dependable, you know, get the ball to the floor when they need her to. Good swing off hands, able to find the floor there.
Nice serve from Mandolfo. A little dink from Rabarchek.
So Purdue not seeing what they want, so they get the ball back in the rally. Set looked a little bit low to Adelaja, kind of swinging from her head there. Elbow didn't get real high, so ball goes wide back to Ohio State. 15-9, Boilermakers.
Annie Drews found the hole and just put that one down.
Annie Drews for the Boilermakers really is a straight seam swinger, and you'll see it right here. Block doesn't get closed, and Annie Drews just destroys the seam there. If the middle for the opposition doesn't get the block closed, Annie Drews will take advantage of that all night.
There's a fifth kill of the night for Drews, and that one long for the Buckeyes. Purdue now up 17-9.
So Leary, another swing long. I think her second this set. Really struggling now for the Buckeyes to find anything to get a rhythm back.
Just 2 kills on the set for Leary.
Another swing kill there. Number 12 for the Buckeyes, Erin Seckinger, doing an Annie Drews, finding the seam there. Ball hits the floor, point to the Buckeyes.
Cassis to serve, and that one goes well long. Not a hard read to make there.
No, that ball wasn't even close. That ball was probably 15 feet long. And I don't know, sometimes you look at that and you go, well, are we focused? Are we in it? You know, what's going on here?
Sometimes that intermission can't come fast enough. Nice job down the line there by Leary, off hands.
Haven't seen that a whole lot from Leary tonight. We know she has that shot, being able to swing down line. A lot of times the set dictates where you can go with the ball. Leary finding the shot down the line. Purdue's up 18-11.
Serve from Lyon. Great block there from the Buckeyes.
Yeah, looking for some life on the Ohio State Buckeye side, and a lot of times that can do it right there. Get a stuff block, kill by your outside hitter that's a senior leader. Come right back, get the stuff block. 2 points there scored by O'Leary and 2 balls. You know, that's pretty big time. So we'll see if the Buckeyes can take advantage of that. Still down 18-12. Rally scores a game of streaks, so we'll see if they can come back from this and make it tight.
Leon to serve. Right at Rabarchek, or excuse me, Kramer.
Ball sent down by Rabarchik. One thing that really Purdue excels at, you'll see the dig here. Huge, big swing from Leary, but then Rabarchik comes back out of system. The sub by Carlson to put in the shorter setter might have come back right there and give Purdue the opportunity to take advantage of her on the outside.
Rabarchik with the big serve. Big swing from Leary, a little bit of frustration on that one.
I think you're seeing right now a senior outside hitter who's saying, if it's going to happen for us, it's going to have to be me that makes it happen. So she scored in 4 balls, really. Scored 3 points, 1 on a stuff block, 2 on kills. So Leary trying to take charge here for the Buckeyes.
Leary on serve.
That ball was touched. No one saw it, but that ball was touched.
That ball was completely redirected by the touch. It was so obvious from.
Yeah, line judge didn't see it. Same Epinesa.
Wow.
That's the beauty of our vantage point, is being able to see that. No one actually saw it.
That one right into the block.
So Ohio State not really getting good seal at the net, so ball comes right down in front of them. Looked like a stuff block, you know, from some angles, but the ball did creep down in front.
That had me
Side out
fooled,
for the
I know that.
Boilermakers.
Jones to serve. Right at Lyon. Into the net called on the Buckeyes. Another free point. Can't give up freebies in a close match like this.
So another setter substitution for Ohio State. Trying to find some answers now. Number 8 back in, Taylor Sherwin for the Buckeyes.
Carlson just looking for a combination that works. That ball outside the antenna.
Yeah, a lot of times on an outside set like that, to a middle, if you're going to the pin off of 1 foot, a lot of rhythm has to take place for that to happen. Middle looked like she just got off balance in the beginning. Another ball right there for the Boilermakers. Val Nickel going way over the net to kind of reach out and get that ball. Katie Mitchell. Nickel's hands, I think, were almost touching Katie Mitchell when she grabbed that ball.
Jones with a perfect serve and an ace.
Ace serve for the Boilermakers. Their second, I believe, on the match. 1 in set 1, 1 late. Both came late. 1 late here in set 2.
24-14. Set point Purdue, dug by Fox. Not able to be kept alive by Epinesa.
Great swing there from Ohio State. When you get a pass in system, that's what you can do. And Ohio State made it look easy on that one.
Val Nickel came from nowhere and puts it away.
So backside set for Purdue, off hands out of bounds. No chance for Ohio State to dig that ball. Purdue up 2-0.
25-15, Boilermakers take set 2. Josh, as we take a look at the stats from the first couple of sets, one number that really jumps out, the attack percentage by the Buckeyes there in set 2.
Yeah, set 2, 0-37 by the Buckeyes. Really didn't even show up. 10 kills. Purdue only had 11 in set 2. However, 9 swing errors from Ohio State. Give Purdue credit on 4 of those. They blocked them. 5 swings OB. That's never a good scenario when you're trying to beat a team in their home gym. That's a ranked opponent. 0-37 is not going to get it done for the Buckeyes.
Absolutely not. Now, we talked in the open tonight about the balanced offensive attack for the Boilermakers. 4 different players have at least 5 kills on the night. Leading the way, Kiki Jones and Val Nickel with 6 apiece.
Kiki Jones and Val Nickel in the middle have a pretty special relationship. They can find each other a lot of different places on the floor. Kiki Jones, an extremely athletic middle for Purdue, can hit the one-tempo ball really well, hits the first tempo ball away from the setter really well, moves around a lot. So Val Nickel really has a way of finding her whenever she needs her for a big kill.
Nickel and Faye Adalaja, along with Annie Drews, Catherine Rabarczyk, Carly Kramer, and Amanda Neal to serve. That'll get things going for the Boilermakers here in set 3.
So 3 passers back for Ohio State. Good pass in system. Ohio State going with what's worked for them all year long. Leary gets the big kill in the middle to start it off for the Buckeyes.
9th kill on the night for Leary. She's having a good night, not great by her standards. She's under her season average.
Pass off the mark for Purdue. Rabarczyk swings out of bounds, so quick start for the Buckeyes, 2-0.
So we saw set 2 start quickly for the Boilermakers. Now we've got some confusion in the gym here. The Buckeyes thought they had that point. They were, Leon was going back to serve. The official ruling is point Purdue, and Ohio State coach Jeff Carlson trying to get some clarification on exactly why his team lost that point. The ball clearly out from Rabarczyk.
Yeah, no question the ball landed out of bounds. I think there was a touch call on that. I'm not sure who made the touch call.
I'm not sure either. I never actually saw a touch call made. Carlson not happy. But we are back underway, 1-1.
So dug up there, Purdue out of system, set by the libero. Inside set there again. Leary pounds the ball down. Her 2nd kill of the set. I think right now you'd say the volley gods decided that Ohio State needed that point, so Leary gets the quick kill. 2 kills in the middle for her, same spot on the floor basically.
And a service error to follow up those 2 kills from Leary, so that evens itself out as well. Leary 10 kills on the night.
So tied up. Seems like Ohio State, when they get in a system, try to get into the rhythm, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot a little bit, serve out of bounds or swing out of bounds. Leary's gotten all the swings here early. Another one for her, 3rd kill. Back row. First time we've seen her swing from basically the right back position on the floor. She's back row. Maybe she's going to have to carry the Buckeyes here in set number 3.
Yeah, there is just absolutely no question what Ohio State's trying to do here early, and Val Nickel responds.
Yeah, Val Nickel with a hard cross-court, swinging right at Leary that time. Leary kind of had a smile on her face when she was getting up off the floor. I think she figured out she's probably in the wrong spot and really had no shot, but you give the effort anyways.
Absolutely. Little drop serve there from Rabarczyk. Tries the pancake dig, can't get it down.
So Purdue normally in their substitution have a couple defensive specialist players on the floor. That time, Kat Rabarczyk, the right side outside on the floor after the serve, didn't have a defensive specialist in there, so ball drops in front.
Short serve.
You know, out of system for Purdue. We talked a little bit about this during the break. Sam Epinesa, great out of system swinger for Purdue. Some players are better out of system with a bad ball to swing at than they are actually in system. Sam Epinesa, I think to a certain extent, is probably one of those players.
She is. Like you said, she has a variety of hits and the ability to just float when she jumps. That one long. Ohio State looking for a tip call.
So now we have a little back and forth between Coach Carlson and the down official. Coach Carlson's like, if you're going to call a touch on the first one, that obviously wasn't a touch, then you got to call a touch on that one and give us the point.
Which also probably wasn't a touch.
Right, neither one were. So a block there by Purdue. Nickel and Jones in on that. No, Elijah. Fayette Elijah was in on that one. Kiki Jones is the server. They have not changed the rule where you can serve and block in volleyball yet. So Jones is still serving. So
Not yet.
Not yet. It's probably coming.
Get on the competition committee. That set took the swing way wide. Ohio State comes out on top.
Ohio State gets it back with the block. Aaron Seckinger on the block for Ohio State, getting the ball back. Purdue is up only one. Leary rotating back into the front row for Ohio State. 2 passers back for Purdue.
Mandolfo to serve. Cross court to Fox.
Sam Epinesa, the sophomore outside for Purdue, with a hot hand in this match.
Here we see Epinesa just floating on that kill once again. Her 6th kill of the night. There's Nickel.
Perfect pass from the Buckeyes. Leary again on the inside ball. I'm not sure we've seen her swing in her natural outside position, what you would call the 4-ball or the high outside ball. 3 kills coming on in the middle of the floor, kind of the zone in the middle, and then 1 on the back row. So Leary getting it done for the Buckeyes. Epinesa again, another kill for Purdue. Getting it done. She's got all the shots. She can swing cross court, swing line, off hands out of bounds.
Epinesa, her 7th kill of the night here.
So swing down the line for Epinesa. Great out-of-system swing for her. Amanda Neal back to serve for Purdue. Kind of 2.5 passers for the Buckeyes. Leary almost on the sideline there in the left back position. Not a good pass from the Buckeyes. Purdue is there to dig it up, but nobody's there to follow.
For a free ball over there by Ohio State, it was well weighted, as they say in soccer, and perfectly placed.
That's right.
To an open hole.
Not many times you get those kind of opportunities at this level to get that kind of kill. Ohio State will take it. They're down 1 to Purdue right now with the serve. So Purdue back 2.5 passers for Purdue. I say 2.5. Katmer Barczyk sort of is in the serve receive pattern up there close to the 10-foot line. 2 main serve receivers for Purdue in Amanda Neal and Carly Kramer.
Quick middle set. Good job by Ohio State getting that one over. 50-50 ball.
So deep in the floor, Katmer Barczyk, probably the most unorthodox kill she'll ever get.
Sometimes things are just working for you.
I tell you what, that one was Purdue's point all the way. We just didn't know it until it was finally over.
Right, that one was determined before the serve went up. Kramer, quick over.
Good set by Nickel. Good dig up by Ohio State there. Leary getting it again. Looked like Leary jumped a little bit early on that one, mistimed by the outside, a little closer to her natural high outside set. Set might have hung in a little bit, inside just a little bit. O'Leary, not a whole lot to do with that one. High, tight set.
Jones on the block. Purdue up now 10-7. Good block once again from Cruz and Jones. Leary's been everything that she's advertised to be so far tonight. 12 kills on the night in an action that really, when you look at Ohio State, they've got 38 points on the board. She's got 12 kills. 38-45 when I add in the 3rd set total. She's got 12 of those points, all by her lonesome. Of course, it's not a solo game out there.
Right. In big games, you really have to have your leadership step up. As a senior outside hitter who's done it for 4 years for them, Leary's been the one who's been the constant for them and really stepping up her game, especially in the 3rd set here.
That one came right at Kramer. Got over the block a lot faster than Carly Kramer, I think, expected.
Yeah, Carly Kramer looked there a little bit confused at where the block setup was. I'm not sure she was expecting what she saw in front of her. As high and fast as this game is played, you better get your hands up if you don't like what you see, because the ball's going to come at you quick.
No doubt.
Good out-of-system play there from Ohio State to get the ball back over, and they get another out-of-system play, and then a back row attack from the defensive specialist from Purdue, Amanda Neal. She's got a smile on her face knowing that she probably should have done a little something different with that ball as the DS, but hey, when it's your time to shine, take advantage.
No doubt. You're not going to get too many kill attempts. And there's another block from Kiki Jones. Now that'll go up as a two-person team block. It looked like Jones was all over this ball.
So Aaron Seckinger, I think when you look at that replay, the ball actually hit the floor before Seckinger actually landed. So Kiki Jones getting high over the net for that block.
Great dig by Kramer. And a great response there by Taylor Sherwin. Sherwin might have let that ball go out, took no chances as she saw the entire back line for Purdue open, just punches it over.
Yeah, I think right now you're seeing a little bit more aggressive posture from Ohio State that we really didn't see, especially in the second set. They came out really hitting hard in the first set, really tight set, heartbreaker to lose. But Ohio State is really trying to force it right now at Purdue, and I think that's exactly what they need to do to get back in this match, is to really force the issue with them, make Purdue make plays, not let the ball come to them, but really try to get back in the match by exerting some will here.
DeSalvatore gets the action going with the serve. Rabarczyk. Davis now nickel cross court. Back row attack from Leary.
The ball swung out of bounds by Rabarczyk. Interesting thing you'll see in that rally was the setter, or the libero, I'm sorry, for Purdue, Carly Kramer, back set that ball outside.
There's Val Nickel.
Val Nickel on the swing for Purdue. Really close to the sideline, knew exactly what to do with that ball. A little bit out of sequence for Purdue. Val Nickel, great attacker, gets it done.
Catherine Rabarczyk to serve now, up 2.
So ripped the jumper. Leary again from the back row. Rabarczyk unable to come up with a dig. Another instance where Purdue in their rotation sequence, normally a DS would be in the back row for them. Kat Rabarczyk is a server because of the points that she scores back there, so she has to play defense. That's another rule change they haven't made, is you can serve and just run straight to the bench.
Out. That'd make for some interesting play.
So a miscommunication there from Purdue on the play over. They get the free ball back. Big point scoring opportunity for Purdue, and they take advantage. You know, really missed opportunity there for Ohio State, getting that kind of free ball from Purdue, but unable to score a point off that. A lot of times those are the ones that when you look back and you're watching tape from the match, you go, yep, should have got that one.
Should have got that one, yeah. We've seen that a couple times from each team tonight. One team will give a free ball over, the other team unable to keep it in system and just returns it right back. Jones waits for the floor mopping crew, which have been in action here tonight. It's a steamy one in West Lafayette.
A good touch there by Purdue off the block. And another block for Purdue. Katie Mitchell trying to make something happen for the Buckeyes. Set is inside just a little bit. Nickel and Adelaja going up high for Purdue. Adelaja really did a good job trying to close that block and get it to where there were no seams.
Epinesa with the deflection. There's
touch again. Adelaja trying to go down. Good dig by the Buckeyes. Tip again. Epinesa gets it. Another out-of-system ball, which she's really great at swinging those out-of-system balls.
8th kill of the night for Sam Epinesa here.
So Epinesa off the net, inside.
Two Buckeyes in front of her. Takes
exactly
it cross
knew
court.
where to go with that ball. Good pass from the Buckeyes. Leary again, back row, gets the touch. Offhand's out of bounds. O'Leary's really been the one this set they've had to rely on to try to get kills. And down the stretch here, Ohio State's down 3. Still plenty of time to get back in this one for them. but Leary's going to have to put up some points for them. Rotates to the front row now.
Leary 6 kills on the set, 14 on the night.
Swing through the seam there from Nickel.
Another great dig for Fox, and a solid block there from Andrea Cassitz.
Cassitz really taking matters into her own hands that time, getting the stuff block straight down. Epinesa, another out-of-system swing, just hit the low hard one right into the block.
Cassitz, a 6'4" sophomore for the Buckeyes. She's going to torment Big Ten offenses for a couple more years. Julianne Mandolfo to serve. Down 2. Fox can just get it over, and Cassitz doesn't wait, puts it away herself.
I think Cassitz was probably more surprised that ball came over the net than just about anybody in the gym. She kind of just stuck her hands up. Floor crew getting some work tonight. 90 degrees in West Lafayette this afternoon, I believe. Boiler box is not air conditioned.
No.
So we are sweating it out here.
It's got to be close to that here, court side. Big swing from Nickel.
Ohio State really did a great job digging that ball up. Got the double call. Carlson, the coach for Ohio State, is saying, look, if you're going to call that, you've got to call it both ways.
He hasn't seen a whistle go his way yet tonight.
Block from Purdue there, dug up by Ohio State. Back set to Drews. Haven't seen her in a while, but Ohio State there. Cassitz getting her action again. Able to get her hands over the net. Second block in this rotation for her. She goes back to serve. So next middle comes in for Ohio State. Leary still in the front row. Their senior outside hitter. Good pass from Purdue. Back row to Adelijah. Leary swinging off balance. Ball goes wide. So
Leary having to be aggressive out there. We saw from point 1 here in the third set, it was going to be a lot on her trying to change it up there by going cross court. Just can't keep it in.
I think Leary was trying to go high hands out of bounds there. Looking back, she probably would want that one back. Done a little better job with that swing. So they go right at her. Off the serve. Adelijah knew exactly what was coming from the Buckeyes. Go right back at Adelijah. And I think they're a little bit excited on the Boiler side.
There's some emotion. Here's
Adelijah gets the touch on the block there, but now Nickel knows that middles like the ball fed to them when they work hard, get that touch.
Third kill of the night for Adelijah. Amanda Neal up 3 on serve.
So
wet floor once again on the Ohio State side.
Ohio State trying to slow the match down just a little bit, taking the water timeout on the floor, we call those. Yep, we still see some sweat here, and Coach Carlson now getting in the action. He still sees it. We all see it.
We all see it.
It's on the floor, folks.
It's shiny.
Oh, here we got towels coming out. Now we have yet another floor. Now we have the down official.
It's a team effort.
I tell you what, you'll do anything you can when you're down 2 on the road.
Amanda Neal on serve, up 3. Purdue leads 2-0. Short.
Good dig there from Purdue. Rabarczyk digs the ball up. Leary tracks it down for Ohio State. Another short play. So Adelijah able to keep it alive for the Boilers. Rabarczyk, little off-balance swing. The middle blocker, number 10, Sabote for Ohio State, getting the stuff block. Rabarczyk trying to swing out of system and make something happen. Sabote right there to score points for Ohio State.
The Ohio State middle blockers have gotten them back in this. Down 2 here in the third. Miss hit by Neal. She will now just try and pass it over.
So free ball for Ohio State. Good scoring opportunity. And they do just that. Leary again making it happen for the Buckeyes. Tightened it up. Purdue only up 1 now.
15th kill on the night for Leary. And Leon wants to get it going quickly. So Quick set to Adelaja, can't get it home.
Up by Purdue, another out of system. Rabarczyk gets the swing out of bounds. Shondell really liking that swing from Rabarczyk. Goes off hands out of bounds. You know, the higher level you get, those kills are really, really important for both sides just because you can't manage them. Off hands out of bounds, undiggable, points over, no chance for the defense to recover. That's exactly what you want.
Good dig there by Neal. Short set. Jones can't do it. Rabarczyk now. Cross court.
So now Rabarczyk coming back, getting the stuff block for Purdue. You know, defense really has been the story, digging by both teams, but also Rabarczyk one-on-one reaches across the net into the opponent's airspace, I like to call it. Jones in that play, it was run to the middle. Sometimes when they try to execute that play defensively, they really say, if the middle runs behind the setter, we're going to block it with our left side attacker, which is what Purdue did in that situation. So if the middle runs behind the setter, Jones just leaves her, which is what happened. Rabarczyk coming through for the Boilermakers.
BTN goes where you want, when you want it with BTN to go, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Watch the network on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. BTN to go is now available to all major subscribers who receive BTN through their cable, satellite, or participating video providers. To learn more, visit btntogo.com. Also available in the App Store and on Google Play. Google playing here tonight on Beelan Court. That one, a late ruling out of bounds.
I tell you what, Carly Kramer went back there and tried to crank one up for the Boilermakers. I had no angle on that ball, but I know that the line judge is hearing it from the student section right now.
It felt good for Carly, I know that. Purdue now just up 2. Okay, Annie Drews says give us that one back.
Yeah, Annie Drews doing what she does, folks. You'll see right here, big seam for Annie Drews. Middle is frozen, seam ball. No chance for Ohio State. Leary in the back row trying to get her arms on it. Purdue side out up 22-19. Back to serve for Purdue. Good pass for Ohio State in system. Great dig by Purdue right where it needs to be.
Can't say the same thing for that
and
set.
Rachel Davis basically set it into the scorer's table.
Just airmailed it.
For Purdue, I think we're getting a little bit of nerves on the Boilermaker side here.
Now Purdue's running a 6-2 offense with 2 setters. So Davis off the floor quite a bit here tonight, as she has been all year. Purdue gives another point back, so 22-21. Purdue up 22-21. We talked a little bit before the break about the 6-2 offense Purdue runs with 2 setters, Val Nickel and Rachel Davis. When you're cycling out a little bit as a setter, what can that do to you mentally coming back in?
Yeah, I think the way that Purdue runs it is a little bit what I call a modified 6-2, where Rachel Davis sets 3 rotations back row, and then she's subbed out. And so I think when you're setting 3 rotations and then you go sit on the bench, if your team's scoring points during those 3 rotations that you're out, you know, it could be where you're only in for 3 balls, 3 quick sides out, and it's over. Whereas Rachel Davis, you know, I mean, as the starter running a 5-1 last year, could make a difference in the way that she mentally prepares what she goes through. So making a great set there on a second tempo ball to Val Nickel, who's the other setter, by the way, when she's in the back row for Purdue. So Val Nickel sets in the back row, swings in the front row for the Boilermakers. So that's why I call it a modified 6-2, not a true 6-2.
Right. Hillary Fox comes in to serve. There's Davis with the set to Epinesa, who pounds it home. We got match point Purdue.
Now, folks, you're not going to see this very often, but we had one of the setters, first ball, Rachel Davis, unbelievable set to Sam Epinesa, who's a great out-of-system swinger. So right now we got set match point for the Boilermakers, 24-21.
Hillary Fox with the floater. Good dig by Davis. And Val Nickel pounds it home. That'll do it for Purdue.
So Purdue wins it in 3. The visiting Buckeyes, number 12 in the country, fall to number 24. Purdue Boilermakers 3-0. 2 were close, 1 was not. Set number 1, 23-25. Set number 2, 25-15. Set number 3, 25-21 goes to the Boilermakers.
That'll do it for tonight. The Purdue Boilermakers victorious. For my broadcast partner, Josh Hill, and sideline reporter, Madeline Plesek, I'm Corey Palm. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great evening.